was chasing 3 women like I'm Mojo Jojo, so my girl got mad and she my bro. Monica, you're wrong though. That's against a bro code. Headed to his home though. No, we living solo. Vertebrae. I just broke into his place. It's chin in his face, yeah. From then I say it's evidence you entertain my loyalty to infiltrate. The only woman that I claim to risk your life to get some strange. All my anger is a pain. You didn't know that I'm a saint. I will blow your up. Then I again. Gone. Feel it in your bones. You ain't gonna feel it till I'm gone. Caught up in your feelings, now you froze. And everything around you getting cold. The chillers in my bones. Caught up in my feelings, now I'm froze. I don't really feel it till you gone. And everything around me getting cold.
It's Madden NFL 23 on EA Sports, and we've got the 2 teams who met in Super Bowl 47. It's the Niners and the Ravens on Sunday night primetime.
With Chesapeake Bay gleaming in the distance, we are inside M&T Bank Stadium near the Inner Harbor in Baltimore, Maryland. Tonight, we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the San Francisco 49ers and the Baltimore Ravens. Welcome again, one and all. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Brandon Gautin on hand alongside Charles Davis. And yes, the storyline here, the weather. Snow and more of it expected as this game continues. So how will that impact how this one goes?
Can these teams ignore the distraction and the strangeness of playing in a snow game? Because it actually affects the crowd as well. That big roar you get is often muffled when there's a snow game. And the second part, what's the footwear you got on? Does that fit the turf you're playing on? And how will it handle as things get a little bit slick?
It's a rematch of Super Bowl 47, -1 Harbaugh. The Ravens and 49ers are underway. Returning from his end zone is Ray McCloud. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. And they will be led out by a guy certainly still trying to prove himself here in the league, the young rookie quarterback.
For every rookie prospect, there are always nerves involved in this moment. Running your team out in the starting game. But there's a reason they brought him in. We're willing to make him their starter today. They believe he can overcome those nerves and lead his team to a victory. We saw him do it at the collegiate level and really make himself into a leader and someone you can envision doing the exact same thing here in the NFL.
Let's go.
Purdy to throw it on first down. Man open, that's Deebo Samuel. Finding space at the 40, down the left sideline. And he's going to get this down inside the 40 before he's finally ridden out of bounds. A huge play there right off the bat. 48 yards.
We know play callers can be very creative in this game today, but sometimes when they've got receivers with speed like this, they don't need to design incredibly complex calls. Sometimes it's just get the ball in his hands and let him do his thing. In a sense, less can become more, and it was right there.
First carry of the game for Christian McCaffrey. And he's able to work his way down inside the red zone to the 19-yard line. So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. Again, they run. Again, it's McCaffrey. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. They'll go option to the short side. And across the chalk into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. Brock Purdy, a 12-yard touchdown run. And the 49ers are on the board first on the road here in Baltimore. Defensively, they told us that the top priority was defending option plays this week, but here on the very first drive, the defense broke down a bit.
It certainly did, and it's really not a surprise because defending option football is difficult. You have to think too much. Most of the time, you just react to what you see and you play fast. Here you're reacting, you're processing. Do I have the back? Do I have the quarterback? Who do I take? Do I take on a blocker? And next thing you know, he's in the end zone.
And now this is right in Kyle Shanahan's wheelhouse. He'll go for 2 here. They go with McCaffrey. And he is not going to make it. They stop him up short, and this will remain a 6-0 ball game.
I'm just learning how to spell analytics, and I need to get that down because it's going to be a huge part of the NFL game going forward. I think that was the call there, trying to go for 2 after that touchdown.
Yeah, opening drive, you not only do you get the 6, but fully seize momentum with the 8, and unfortunately they couldn't do it.
I think they were trying to gain that huge advantage, not just on the scoreboard, but mentally. I just wonder if that backfires a little when they stop you.
The Ravens offense going to work, and as usual, it's Lamar Jackson, the former MVP of the league, at the helm.
And he remains the league's premier rushing threat and one of the biggest playmakers among quarterbacks. His goal each and every season, continue to expand his game as a passer and become well-rounded. All those highlight reel plays you see, they come off the fact that he can run it, throw it, and scares defenses every time he takes a snap.
On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. A quick throw there, going to be batted away and incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. Now flags come in. I think one of the Ravens got going a little early. The offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted. So after the penalty, heading in the wrong direction, 2nd and 15. Now it's Jackson. And he gets it here to right around the 24 before he's out of bounds. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd. Well, you know, paramount for this defense is trying to keep Lamar Jackson somewhat contained when he tries to run. They did a pretty good job of it there.
And you know it's so difficult for every defense that has to prepare for Lamar Jackson? You have to think and play at the same time. And I know that sounds like something you're supposed to do, but when you...
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. That is Nick Bosa from out on the edge who worked his way in for the sack. The defense is always talking about not letting Lamar Jackson get comfortable. A good job there on his opening drive of making him uncomfortable.
And you're talking about doing it so early in the game because all week long, there's been anxiety on the defensive side of the ball. How do we keep this guy hemmed in? How do we tackle him? To get it done that early, that's got to feel great for them.
And he is going to have a Ravens first down. And they convert in style right there. A big play on 4th and long. 4th down conversion plays, you usually think 1, 2, 3 yards, maybe 10. Not there. What a huge pickup as the Sticks make a drastic shift forward. They'll run for the first time with J.K. Dobbins. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Jackson going to look to run with it. Third down just got a lot tougher. That will officially go as a loss of 7. We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a first down. Jackson going to hold on to it again. And he is going to lose yardage here. Fourth down now after a loss of 2.
Well, they certainly didn't appear to be fired up about their options throwing the football. So, to me, this seems like a case of just kind of taking their medicine there, run the ball, see if they can pick up something. Instead, they were throwing for a loss.
And that is intercepted on the sideline. Wait, no. They'll say no. It was caught out of bounds. So this is just an incompletion here. On first down, this is McCaffrey. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34. Second down and right back to McCaffrey. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. I also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
This will be caught. It's Samuel. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. That's good for 28 yards. 6-0 our score after 1. The 49ers with the football here to begin the second quarter as they go to work on a 1st and goal. Oh, how about this call down near the goal line? And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal. And he's going to use his legs here. And he'll take this into the end zone for a San Francisco touchdown. Brock Purdy with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half, as his guys are able to extend their lead. We've seen this already from him in this game. 2nd time he's into the end zone with a rushing touchdown.
So the head coach is going to have a meeting with the owner this week. You know why? He's got to let the owner know, I know you wrote the check for his arm, but we're going to make him a part of our running game too. This guy can do it all. Let's see where he takes us.
So now Charles, 2 touchdowns, 2 tries at 2-point conversions, and both fail.
And you want to say, let's go ahead and run the kicker out there from now on. But the problem is you're chasing points at this stage. So now you got to dial up more 2-point conversions and hope you're successful from here on out.
And as he approaches to kick it off, he might be thinking this could be a 14-0 lead with a couple of PATs as he sends this one away. Hill is going to take it out of the end zone. And a nice job there on special teams to limit him to inside the 15 as he's dropped at the 14. Baltimore set to take over here for their 2nd possession of the game. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
They run the option on second down. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up second. Well, sometimes that option can get bogged down before the gears really even get into motion, and I think that's what we saw there.
And I think what he saw a defensive end right in his face because he looked up and he was right there. Didn't even have a chance to get going.
Off the play fake, here's Jackson. And this is going to be hauled in by the tight end, Andrews. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. They go play action now. Jackson. And looking for Andrews, but this is intercepted. Picked off by Jason Verrett.
Well, it's a cold night, and whether your quarterback wears a glove on his throwing hand or not, that ball is a rock, Brandon. You've got to really drive it through the cold and the wind, or it can take off on you. And that may have been what happened there.
And San Francisco gets set to go here. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have, and think back to our meeting with the head coach, and we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. They'll set up the screen to McCaffrey. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Purdy with it on 3rd and long. Winds up and lets it go for Samuel. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. 4th down try. Here's Purdy. On the run. He'll let it go deep. Right sideline.
Partner, have you ever heard the story of Icarus in mythology? That's the guy who flew too close to the sun and had his wings melted. That was our guy right there. Keeps pressing it and pressing it. Finally, on that throw, he paid the price with that turnover.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover that Blake did on the last one.
And able to use his blockers to get this up over the 40. On 3rd down, Jackson. That'll be complete to Dobbins. He's got room at the 30. And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line. 1:52 to play until halftime. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. That is caught. It's Bateman for a Raven touchdown. Rashad Bateman, a 12-yard touchdown grab. And the Ravens have cut it back within a score.
They went 5 wide in that offensive set. And racing going 3 wide's a big deal. To go 5, how about the way that they finish things off?
Did you just fit a race car reference into the game?
Zoom, zoom. How about the way that you play? When you go 5 wide, that means you're going fast now.
Zoom, zoom indeed. And he'll get in for the 2 points, and in so doing, cut the deficit to 2 points. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This taken in at the goal line. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. The 49er offense now making their way out onto the field. As the offense comes out here, Charles, maybe perhaps a bit more of a focus on the run game for this drive after tossing an interception on the previous one?
I think that's a good way to look at it.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Tyus Bowser with a pick. And he will bring this back. It's a pick six and a Raven touchdown. How about that for a little jolt right before intermission?
Talk about taking momentum into the half with you, and so many teams have an emphasis on trying to score in the last 2 minutes of a half to carry that with them. It's not often talked about scoring on defense, though. That's extra ball.
And now they may take the lead into the locker room as well. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Here's McLeod from his end zone. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. San Francisco set to go on offense once more. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we're having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass, and finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass, and that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. This pass to Jennings, and he makes the catch. It'll be a gain of 5, and it'll be a third and about 13.
Timing is so important on a route like this because he's going to line up out right and then cut straight across the field. I think the ball might have come out a count or two too late because by the time he was able to secure it, not much of a chance to turn it upfield.
The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Purdy on fourth down. The first catch of the game for George Kittle. And they will get the first down here as they move into field goal range as well inside the 25. Jackson on first down. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Tashawn Gibson. And the Ravens are going to take possession here at their own 3-yard line. Wow, so wipe out the INT roughing the passer. What a disaster.
An absolute disaster, and you hope their lockers are not right next to each other for the postgame. Safe to say one is not buying the other dinner.
Throwing on first down, it's Jackson. And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17. Buried by multiple defenders on the drive's first play. So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome, everyone, to our brand new studios here in downtown Orlando in the EA Sports Halftime Report. First up, though, a look at the next-gen stats for the Niners in that first half. And I can imagine the halftime discussions are about how can we improve the running game. They have not had success so far, and it's reflected on the scoreboard. Meanwhile, for the Ravens...
You want the third quarter already? No problem. Let's do it.
You'd have to imagine, given the snowy condition, lots to talk about at halftime for these two coaching staffs. Plenty of decisions to be made for this second half for sure. And for the call, we hand it back over to Brandon Gaudin.
Indeed, Coach. Thanks very much. And that snow you alluded to showing no signs of stopping, at least in the foreseeable future. Hill is going to take it out of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Raven offense set to start this third quarter. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better, and I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation to pick up those pass rushers, because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
They'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's second down.
Partner just a second earlier, and they might have had him because they certainly thought they were going to close in and drop him behind the line of scrimmage, but he had just enough time to dodge the pressure, and he ends up getting yardage before being stopped.
Throwing again on second down. Jackson dancing to his left. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the first.
And Brandon, this is the time of the game when Jackson could really take over. He's got the defense's legs a little bit tired. He's got them on the run.
Yeah, this defense looks gassed, and you're exactly right. Second half with the lead, this is when Lamar Jackson seems to thrive. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
Jackson's throw into the hands of Andrews. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. Play action. Now Jackson. Rolling to his right. The improvisation gets him only a couple, but that's all he needed. First down.
Well, he didn't get much, but he didn't need much. He got just enough on that play. The pressure came, but they allowed him to escape, and he got to the sideline and got out of bounds, picking up a first down.
2 first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. To throw is Jackson. And the Niners get there and bring him down. Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. Jackson forced out to his left. And that one going to be off target and incomplete.
Well, partner, guaranteed they approach this play with the idea of making up ground to make third down manageable. Unfortunately, with that incompletion, right back where they started on the last snap. Now they need a big third down play in order to pick up the yardage needed.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. Picked up by Charvarius Ward. And the Niners are in great shape here as they take over at their 46-yard line. That is a tough way to start the third quarter. You get the football, hoping to drive it down, put it in the end zone, and take the lead. Instead, they give them the football.
And I think the key here is for them to not get discouraged. That is not how they drew it up, not how they saw it in their minds. But there's a long way to go in this game. You know, they've just got to find a way to come back one play at a time. Yes, it's a cliche, but they can get it done. I know they'd love to take some heat off of that young quarterback, but so far, not much in the running game, and this won't help things either. A loss on that play.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down. Purdy now to throw off the play action. Got his target, Samuel. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. Boy, a nice play there as they wind up converting on 3rd and 15.
The timing was absolutely true as he caught it working across the field. Plenty of space for him to roam, but notice how he keeps his head on a swivel, looking for defenders who may crop up out of nowhere. That turned into a big play.
He'll get forward for 3 down to the 16-yard line.
We know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Out of the gun, Purdy. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. And the Ravens will take over here just shy of the 30. That pick hurts a little extra because it was 3rd down. You were already in field goal range.
You know what he's going to hear all night, all next week? Situational football. Understand what's going on because you expressed it perfectly. 3 points were in their hip pocket. They had those. Now, those went by the wayside. You cannot make those kind of mistakes.
That's what you call a rookie mistake. A quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
Good action to this point in the 3rd quarter. Just a 3-point game. 2nd and 10. Jackson on the give to Dobbins. And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12. They went with the run-pass option, and I don't know if the option really mattered there because the defense was ready.
So many times you put the defense at a disadvantage because you have those multiple options, but when they read their keys and play it correctly, sometimes the result goes in their favor.
An extra DB for the 49ers now on 3rd. On 3rd, here's an option play right. On 3rd down, here's Dobbins. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. Back now in Baltimore. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. They run the option here on 1st and 10. Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Again, Jackson will keep it. A pitch comes to Dobbins. And some nifty running here as he'll take this across midfield and down to the 47. They get 14 on that one. That's good for a Baltimore 1st down. And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
I guess no need to force it when you can do that instead. 1st down, 18-yard gain.
It hasn't been the cleanest game for him, but there was a sign of improvement as he looks towards the next one. Nice bit of scrambling to move the sticks, and even more importantly, he didn't risk adding another interception to his ledger.
Throwing now, Jackson on 1st down. Man open is Robinson. And in for the Ravens touchdown. DeMarcus Robinson. 28 yards. And the Ravens will add to their 4th quarter lead. We talk so often about how hard it is to win in the NFL when you turn the ball over. And here a late turnover leads to a 4th quarter touchdown and a 2-score lead.
And what's more important is being able to take advantage when a turnover presents itself. You've got to come up with points to make the other guy pay. They're able to do so here, and they've got a pretty good chance now of winning this football game.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Here's McLeod from his end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped it to 23. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. And the script really is flipped for them. The momentum on the other sideline, and now they have to try and battle back from a 2-score deficit. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Purdy looking to throw on 1st down here. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And that'll bring up 2nd down. Now a draw play to McCaffrey. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the 1st. Purdy will set up to throw it here. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to it. Michael Pierce in all of his 340-pound glory gets the sack. Purdy, big 4th down play. And able to haul it in is Kittle. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. They go play action here. Purdy. And this is intercepted. And that should do it. Picked off by Roquan Smith. And the Ravens are going to have it here just past the 25.
Well, let's face it, Brandon. They're down here in the 2nd half. Want to try and make something happen. And if you're the guy with the ball in your hands, you're going to try even harder. Because I think all he was trying to do was to get outside the pocket and see if he can find a big play downfield.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Now they are really in the driver's seat here, enjoying this lead late in the 4th quarter. The defense does have all 3 timeouts, but at this point, doesn't look like it's going to matter much. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks.
Well, it may seem a little unorthodox to some people. Got the lead, 4th quarter, yet he's still firing away. I think he believes that's the best way to go ahead and win the game.
Yeah, a lot of coaches say, let's just run the football, be conservative. He's sticking to his game plan.
No, that is his game, and that's what they're going to ride.
And he's across the 45. It'll be 2nd down. Here's Edwards again on 2nd down. And a gain of 4 gets him right to the midfield stripe.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in this football game. And despite the late lead, Jackson to throw. Complete to Likely. And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line. Now a 2nd timeout called for by the defense. That'll leave him with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Now Jackson. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by Fred Warner. And the 49ers are going to get the football there as he gets this up to the 38-yard line. Now with that interception, you feel like we got a ball game again. Remember, 2-score contest and still time left here in the fourth.
And in the old days, not too long gone either. Throwing the ball here would have been an absolute no-no, but the way the game's played.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked up by Patrick Queen. And the Ravens are going to take possession of the football. A young quarterback, Charles, rolling to his right. I know he's right-handed, but is that one that maybe a veteran sticks in his pocket?
I think so, but you have to remember with young quarterbacks, it may take a few years before they get all the stuff out of them that they did earlier in their career or even in their college days when they were used to being dominant. In this case, the NFL veteran defense ended up winning the battle.
He's going to rifle one deep left side. And this is caught. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
I told my boys it ain't no limit.